فيصل احمد الزهراني، زياد طالب العمودي، عبد الحميد الغامدي، وانس الزهراني.
السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. I am engineer Faisal Ahmed al-Zahrani. With me, my fellow engineers, Anas al-Zahrani, Ziad al-Amoudi, and Abdul al-Ghamdi. We are engineers of CPIT251, and we are looking to create a project that will solve a major problem in our society. In our culture, we are used to hiring workers for each and every simple problem in our houses. We are going to develop an application which will help the communication between the workers and the customers. In our application, it has solved many problems that engineer Anas al-Zahrani will discuss.
Our customers usually face three main problems. As you can see, the first problem, many people may have to go out and search for workers. The second problem, waste of time. You may not find the appropriate worker for your problem immediately. That may take much of your time. The third problem, lack of service quality. There is no guarantee that the worker you find is qualified 100% for your job. And now, for these problems, we came up with solutions. And these solutions will be presented by my fellow engineer, Ziad al-Amoudi.
Our solution will eliminate the need of all the problems mentioned by my fellow engineer, Anas al-Zahrani. So instead of going out to the streets and search for the worker, you can easily download our application, HireUp, and scroll down through the workers. You can see the ratings of the workers and the type of jobs they can present for you. Now we will go on with the UML diagram, starting with my fellow engineer, Hamid al-Ghamdi.
In our use case, we have two actors, customer and worker. Both customer and worker share in login case. And customer have three main cases: register customer, display worker, and show history. And customer can display worker. He can when a customer display a worker, he can search for a worker and including that request a worker. And the worker, he can display jobs he received. And now we have activity diagram. We have three lines: customer, application, and worker. Customer log into the application, so the application checking if the account is valid. He can continue to display a worker, search for a worker, and request a worker. Also, a worker can log into the application and do the same way in customer checking and display the jobs he received. And now, with my fellow engineer Ziad to continue the rest.
In our application, we have 8 main classes. Each class will represent an interface in the application. As you can see, we have a single login for both customer and worker, and we have 2 different registers for customer and worker. The reason we had to separate the registers is the data member job type. So when you register as a customer, you will add the job type you are working. We have 2 different interfaces, one for the customer and one for the worker. When you log in as a customer, you will go through the customer UI. You will open an object customer UI. Then you will have the option to browse a worker, open the display worker interface, or previous order method that will open the previous order interface. In the worker user interface, you will have an option display request, which will come from the customer requests. The sequence diagram, we will show the scenario of showing the history or previous orders of the customer. First of all, after running the program, you will log in by your username and password. The database will validate the login action of the customer. Then a new customer UI object will be created and a customer user interface will be opened. After that, you will choose the previous order option. So the previous order object will be created and the previous order page will be opened. Then the customer will invoke the show history method that will retrieve the data from the database, and then it will be returned as the history list in the interface. And now my fellow engineer Anas Zahrani will present us the database ER and the database schema.
In our database, we created this ER diagram. It has three main entities: customer, job, and worker. And as you can see, customer has these following attributes. And most important of them, the customer ID, which is the primary key. And the job has only two attributes: job ID, which is the primary key, and the date. Worker has these all attributes. Most important of them is the date and the worker ID as the primary key. And also it has a composite attribute, worker name with first name and last name, as customer has. Now we have two relationships, request and works on. Request relationship has the cardinality of many to many, means customer can request a job. Many customers also can request many jobs. And works on has the cardinality of 1-to-1, which means a worker can only work on one job at a time. Now, the database schema we created based on the ER diagram has 4 tables: customer, worker, job, request. Request created based on the request relationship between the customer and job relation. That's why we have 2 foreign keys: job ID and customer ID. Both present a composite primary key. And on the job, we have also a foreign key from the worker table, worker ID, because of the relationship works on between them. And now, my fellow engineer Ziad Al-Amoud, my fellow engineer Faisal Al-Zahrani will continue to demonstrate the interface of the application.
When we start our application, you will be presented by the login page. The login page where you can enter your username and password to enter the system. If you are a new user of our application, you can either choose to register as a customer or as a worker. When you log in as a customer, this is the customer UI, you can choose to display the worker, and this is the display worker interface. You can here select from a list of job types, as an electrician, as a plumber, as a mechanic, and then you click the search button, and it will show on this list the workers available. Also, you can select all workers available at the time, and it will display every worker. After you see the workers and sort based on the rating or of the job type, you can insert the ID here and click the request worker, and it will request the worker for you. Also, as a customer, you have the second option of displaying the previous orders that you have requested. Here, you can open the display previous orders and click show history. And it will show you the history of all the orders that you have ordered before. Here is the details of the job, the worker name and his ID, and the rating that you gave him at the end of the job, and the date. Also for the worker, is the same. You can display the jobs that you have previously worked on. Now, we would like to demonstrate our application with a volunteer. No? We will begin the interface.
So is so the external person who doesn't know the system, for example,
Yes, he's gonna
Volunteer.
he's the first time. Here we can run our application, and Nawaf will begin navigating through our application. He is obviously a new user to our system, so he chose to register as a customer because he wants to request workers. He will enter his username and password and his first name and last name with the phone number. After he registers, he will be registered in our database, and then he can log into our system. As you can see, the interface was easy to use and he didn't have any problems with navigating. Now if you click on register button, it pops up a message that you have created an account successfully. Now, after registering, it will bring you back to the login page, and you can enter your username and password to log in. verify his username and password, and it will allow him to enter the application. Here we have the two main functions of our application. You can browse the workers in order to request one, or you can view the previous orders. Obviously, if you are a new user, you have no previous orders, so can you browse workers? You can select a job type, or you can display every workers you have. Now, if you want to choose one worker of your choosing, you can also check the best rating to get the best quality worker. Enter his ID in the field. Now, an order has been sent, and now with the worker interface, he will receive a message that he needs to confirm that the job. After that, you can go to the previous page to navigate to the previous orders. And here you can display the history of your jobs. It was displayed successfully. Thank you for your participation. Any questions?
Thank you. للأسف أقول أنا أقول لكم مكان القوة في البرزنتيشن حقنا. أول شيء الهارموني في التيم وورك كان موسيقى جميلة. كان التست اختاروا واحد من برا، احنا درسنا التست نوعين، نوع اسمه وايد ونوع اسمه كلاس، وعرفنا انه outside person to test the system is nice. الأحباب هنا استعرضوا إن ديمو فليفر السيستم كامل. هذا السيستم يا اخواني يؤخذ منه مادتين، مادة اسمها 498 ومادة اسمها 990. هم اختصروها في محاضرة واحدة اسمها 250 السوفت وير انجينير. حقيقة من القلب أهنيكم، وأتمنى أن كل أبنائنا في هذا القسم يكونوا برواحكم وكلكم إن شاء الله زي كذا. أنا أعطيتكم كل مارك.
الله يعطيك العافيه دكتور، هذا ثمر تعليمك.
الله يديكم العافية. بالعكس أنتم صراحة تربة خصبة بيض الله وجهكم. شكرا لك. الجروب اللي بعده
دكتور